Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Veronica Joseph, and I am pleased to announce that I am here today with Healthy Living Support Group, an organization founded on Florida A&M's campus centered around raising awareness of different mental health issues. Again, for those of you guys who may be watching, please feel free to engage in conversations and ask questions on Healthy Living.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am Dr. Washington, the head physician at Leon County Health Department, and I'm serving as a guest, and I will be answering any questions as far as relating to health issues. And I'm just here to help overall, so if you have any questions, go ahead and relate them to me, and I will do all I can to help.
Hi, my name is Jen, and I'm a health informatics student. And I have OCD.
Hi,
Jen.
Hi, my name is Tom, and I suffer from schizophrenia.
Sorry.
Hi, Tom. Hi, I'm Taylor O'Connor, and I have HIV.
Hi, Taylor.
Hi, my name is Jessica, and I came to the meeting today to get some more information on cultural competency to help my mother who is experiencing some cultural disadvantages.
Hi, Jessica. Hey, so like I said, I've been diagnosed with OCD, and some of the things that I experience is like weird obsessions. Like I have to do a certain thing like a certain amount of times. Like if I'm doing my makeup, like I have to brush my face like 3 times on each side. And it's just like I don't know why I have these weird obsessions, and it's really weird. And sometimes I have like these weird, I'm kind of embarrassed to say it, but persistent like sexual thoughts. They just come out of nowhere. I can be in class and I don't know, I just feel like I'm causing myself to create a barrier when talking about access to healthcare because I'm so ashamed of my condition. It's like I'm afraid to talk to people, to seek help. I kind of pre-diagnosed myself, but I kind of pre-diagnosed myself, but I really do believe that I have OCD, and I just want to know what can I do regarding access and other things. And also with costs, I'm also afraid that if I do try to go ahead and get insured, my prescription may cost more. My drugs may cost more. I may be charged more for health insurance because of my mental disability. So I just want to know, like, what should I do? I'm ready to take the next step to go ahead.
One treatment that I can recommend for you, I remember you saying that you attend Florida A&M University. I don't know if you're aware, but they do have different support systems there that help with things such as this. I feel that this will benefit you in the long run. Another thing that I recommend for you is cognitive behavior therapy, and I recommend this because of the fact that it's going to help you modify those negative thoughts and reinforce them. You know, I understand, I hear you say that you have negative thoughts of hurting the people that you love the most and hurting yourself. So I feel like this therapy would be perfect for you to help those thoughts go away. And the last treatment that I would have you go through is something called aversion therapy. And what this is getting rid of unwanted behaviors. So, you know, those sexual desires that you may have in class or any other things that you may not, you know, want to do that you find yourself doing because of the disorder. I feel that these 3 therapies combined with the medication that you will be receiving would help you in the long run, and you will be able to live your life normally without any stress.
Okay, well, thank you, Dr. Washington. I really didn't know that FAMU offered these services. It's crazy. I was hindering myself the whole time. So I'll definitely go ahead and look into that.
As a family student, I can relate to your mental health disorder. It's so hard being schizophrenic sometimes. I tend to forget a lot of things. I sometimes see things that aren't there. I have a whole bunch of mood swings. Sometimes I can go from mad to sad just like this. And it's hard to control. I've seen people, I remember one time, me and my mother was having just a regular conversation about school, and I just flipped on her. She said I was supposed to have a 3.0 and I had a 2, and before I knew it, we was in the raging argument, and I'm tired of this. I want help, Dr. Washington. What can I do, doctor? Can you
So
help
as
me?
far as schizophrenia goes, I do have a couple of things that I feel could benefit you in the long run. One thing that I really want you to get into is rehabilitation. And what this does for people with schizophrenia is it helps to retain the brain's pathways, and it helps to regulate, mental capacity. And as far as your family issues, I understand you said you're having issues with your mother. I really want you to get into family therapy. And what this does is brings the family together, and it helps them, basically counteract whatever conflicts they may have. I feel like this would really be a positive outcome for you. Another thing that I feel like you should look into is behavior therapy. And what this mainly does is, it helps those negative and harmful behaviors that you feel like you have. So, the lashing out and all that good stuff. So, and one more thing that I want to recommend for you is the support group as well. We all need support groups, and I feel like it would do you wonders as well to get into a support group.
Hello, I'm Taylor, and I have HIV and AIDS. It hasn't been the best talking about it because it is kind of embarrassing, and it's typically hard because I'm dealing with having to try and pay for medications and prescriptions, and basically I'm paying 3 to 5 times the amount that a typical person would pay. Basically $12,000 to $13,000 on prescription, on medication to help me be better. But with me having this condition, it made me once again a little more knowledge about it. Basically, I found that Medicaid would better fund me as far as my prescriptions of helping me with my condition. I also found that within the medical inspection that with me having HIV and AIDS, I wouldn't necessarily have to wait for my diagnosis in order to be eligibly accepted. So that gives me a peace of mind of kind of knowing what I'm dealing with. And I also found out that Medicare Part B, they would help me pay for my prescriptions as well. And that's just a big relief off my shoulders of kind of knowing what I'm dealing with. But I just want a little more insight or instillance of anything excessive that I would need to do to make sure I'm living a healthy lifestyle.
It's funny that you brought up the fact that you feel like maybe healthcare may be too much for you based off of your conditions. The ACA has created a policy where pre-existing conditions does not really affect the amount of money you pay for healthcare. This was set in place by the Obama administration and currently is still in place. If we look back in history, we can see that the Burwell case, where an individual felt, unethical about paying a certain amount of money when the state wanted them to pay it. So they fought the case and they won, and that determined when they wanted to pay it and how they wanted to pay for their health care. Depending on the existing conditions that you guys have, you guys shouldn't feel as though you have to pay more because of your conditions, or you would have to pay less because of your condition. It should be a normal rate as any other normal citizen. And with that being said, you shouldn't feel any type of way, you shouldn't be worried, you shouldn't be scared to continue to pursue healthcare. You should go, by all means, pursue it hard. And as you guys being leaders on campus, please continue to stand up for your rights and continue to set the example for other students who may have these pre-existing conditions.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. My question is for Dr. Washington, and I just want to know, basically, what do you do to deal with patients that don't speak English? Because To me, it kind of seems obvious that most healthcare physicians or professionals should understand cultural competency, but I have experience with my mother who doesn't speak English, that they don't really have as much respect, or there's no high levels of trust or responsibility for that patient that doesn't speak English. So I'm just wondering, what do you do to increase the mutual respect level between your patient and your orders? Like, how do you get them to follow everything that you're advising them to do?
Well, to answer your question, there are many things that we can do in order to solve this issue. So, for example, we hire and promote minority healthcare workers. We establish or strengthen existing programs aimed at minority leadership development. And one of the main things that we try to do is to gather information about patients' language preferences. And what this does for our patients is it ensures that patients have access to healthcare workers or interpreters who speak their language. Another thing that we do is provide patients with health education materials and forms in different languages. And with all this together, this really helps our patients understand what's going on and keeps them informed with their healthcare treatments. And it also keeps us informed of what they prefer and how to better communicate with them as a whole.
This skit was personally my favorite because as an HIM professional, we ensure the delivery of safe, high-patient, quality care. And the issues that we did go ahead and discuss tonight are issues that actually do happen, especially to college students, whether they have cancer or suffer from HIV and AIDS, mental health. Some students tend to believe that they can't afford access to health care, and which isn't true. The ACA made it possible that students are allowed to remain up on their parents' health insurance until the age of 26, which did go ahead and help about 30 million young adults get insured. Before 2010, many Americans from the age of 19 to 25 were not insured or paid higher premiums, but the ACA made it possible that those with pre-existing health conditions will not be turned away or will have to suffer a higher cost just because of their mental illness or any diseases that they may have.
Well, I hope you took from what we talked about today in our skit, because it was very beneficial things that were learned as far as people dealing with HIV on an everyday basis, and learning that Medicaid is the highest and largest paying tax insurance company that helps pay for HIV and prescription and medication, and also the comprehensive coverages that basically benefits everyone with mental health issues or people with chronic diseases. It offers services as far as lab tests, hospital inpatient, prescription drugs. So there are services and help for anyone dealing with HIV or AIDS or just any mental health overall. There are ways that it can be treated and you can get help for it.
So what we learned as a group dealing with cultural competency is that there are basic values that you should have when dealing with patients that are culturally different from the norm. One of them is the respect for autonomy. So basically the healthcare providers want to have a full respect and trust relationship with their patients. Next is benevolence, which is basically that patients should always come first when dealing with their healthcare providers, and then non-malfeasance, which is that healthcare providers, they should not cause any harm to their patient, and they should do everything that they can to better the patient and treat them. And then overall, you want to treat them with fairness and dignity because everyone is created equal.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello everyone. It is crucial that as a group we raise awareness of Trump's new healthcare policies. As the Trump administration continues to take office, we want you to know that he plans on defunding certain things that most women depend on, such as Planned Parenthood. We also want you to know that that is not the only option. There are other sources of healthcare, such as the Big Bend healthcare facilities and many other healthcare options, such as neighborhood healthcare clinics. You are not alone in this. If you are a woman and you are seeking help, please go to your nearest healthcare facility and ask them what your options are. And don't be discouraged if you don't have health insurance. There's always a way.